The High Court in Accra has dismissed the objection raised by lawyers for former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Boahen, against the Attorney General's notice to withdraw prosecution against the third accused, Mildred Donko. Lead counsel for Boahen, Atachia, argued that instead of a notice of withdrawal, the Attorney General must come by a motion asserting that the amendments the prosecution is seeking are far-reaching and cannot be effected by a mere notice to the High Court. However, the judge, Justice John Yadu Nyante, overruled the objection, noting that the Attorney General, who is constitutionally mandated to prosecute, does not require the consent of the court to exercise his discretion to withdraw. My colleague Charles Osukumi is at the court for us and joins us live. Hi, Charles. Thank you very much for joining us. Tell us what happened in court today.
Hello, no.
Yes, Charles. Go ahead. Tell us what's happened in court today.
Well, we know that the former boss of the National Signals Bureau is currently facing prosecution. He's facing allegations of money laundering, stealing to the tune of a little over 49 million cedis. Well, today, what's been happening is that currently the prosecution has called its first witness, and examination of that witness is currently ongoing. But before that, we know that in one of the proceedings here for this very trial, the counsel for the Boahen, who is the first accused, asked the court to stay proceedings for the trial pending appeal that they had made. They had appealed an earlier decision by the court to rule against an application that they had made for full disclosures of some documents to be given to them. The court ruled against them, and they had appealed that ruling. So they had asked the court to stay the proceedings of the trial for that appeal to be heard. But the court today dismissed that application that was filed by counsel for the first accused. Also, before today's trial, we're seeing in the media a notice from the Attorney General's office withdrawing prosecution for the third accused in this very matter, which is Mildred Donko. Today, that notice was served here in court, and the counsel for first accused, which is Atachia, objected to this notice. His argument was that the Attorney General's office had to come by motion to the court, file processes with the court, for the court to determine this matter, and they couldn't just come by notice. Well, the judge, after hearing arguments from both sides, said yes, the Attorney General, which has been given the mandate to prosecute, can decide when to withdraw prosecution against an accused person without recourse to the court, and doesn't necessarily need permission from the court. So now, following that declaration by the judge, he then went on to discharge the third accused, which is Mildred Donko. She had some bit of tears in her eyes as the judge made that ruling that she was discharged, and ordered that her records be expunged from the document and court of the court here.
All right, Charles, we also understand that Gifty Awari of the former NSS director will also be in court. Will that be the same court, or will they be in a different court?
Well, that case hasn't been called yet. We know that the Deputy Attorney General who is prosecuting that case is the same person who is leading the prosecution for the Boahen case. So he's currently in court. He's just called his first witness, as I mentioned. I don't know how that will work, but he may have to finish with this before he goes on to the other case. I don't know if that will be postponed, but we wait to see if the case against the former NSS boss and his deputy will go on ahead today, as was earlier advertised.
All right, Charles, thank you very much. Stay on that beat for us, and we'll definitely update our viewers in our subsequent bulletins.